Man, here at the Fake Stuff Podcast, we're not a podcast of advice. We don't give you tips and tricks to do this and that, but I have played dynasty fantasy football here for 5 years, going on year 6. So I'm going to tell you how I'm approaching rookie season. I got rookie draft picks all through my leagues. I'm going to tell you how I'm approaching them. First of all, just, share the show. Apple, Spotify, YouTube, you name it, we're all there. Share the show. Don't be a hoe, share the show. That's all we ask. We don't ask for too much around here. We ain't asking for your money. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers. I know the Craft Man ain't said that, but I said that. Try to get to 100 subscribers on YouTube before kickoff next football season. We're in the NFL playoffs right now. The dead zone for the Fake Stuff Podcast. Dead time period for anything fantasy-wise, but dynasty stuff never dies, man. It never dies, and here we are. So like I said, on Apple, leave a review, 5-star review. It helps more than you know. Spotify, same thing. YouTube, like the show, share it, subscribe, do your thing. But everybody, thank y'all who's been listening to the podcast for the past 2 or 3, 4 years. Thank y'all for listening to the podcast. I'm going solo today. No Craft Man. It's because we really want to pop the content out this summer. It's going to be our best summer yet. Our best off season, so thank y'all for bearing with us. I'm going solo. I'm going to talk rookie draft a little bit, just a general how I'm going about it. I'm not giving tips. I'm not saying do this and do that, but I've been playing for 5 years. I've seen a thing or two, so let's just go ahead and get this thing rolling.
Rookie draft season.
All right, rookie draft season here. First tip, I got about 7 or 8 of them. First one. Ignore the overall perception of the rookie class as a whole. Does that make sense? I typed it out for you. Check me out on YouTube. I got the banner up. If you listen to me audio, listen to what I said. Ignore the overall perception of the rookie class as a whole. And I've learned this because, let's see, what years are we in? We're in 26, so I've done a few rookie drafts, 22, 23, 24, 25. Me and the Craft Man, we break them down, quarterbacks, running backs, we do it all. We break it down player by player. But I'm not going to do my rebuilds and move it year to year based on what people are saying about the class. Like, what are they saying about this class? What are they saying about this class? You know, that 24 class, weak. That class was supposed to be weak, but that 25 class, though, supposed to be the best class in a half a century. You know what I'm saying? That class was weak as fuck. You know what I'm saying? 26 class, everybody's talking about how deep it is. Shoot, if you ain't in a Superflex league, that thing was 3 players deep. You know what I'm saying? After the 103, you're done. You're cooked. So my thing is ignore it. Ignore it all because we don't know. What are people saying right now? 26 class. It's 1 deep. Ain't nobody good. There ain't no blue chips in this class. Well, we won't even know till like 3 or 4 years later. There's probably some wide receivers sprinkled all across the first round, the second round that we ain't talking about because everybody's talking about that 27 class, though. Because that 27 class, though, go be deep. Got a bunch of blue chips. Got Jeremiah Smith. I don't care about none of that. Like, I'm not going to push my my rebuild back a year because, hey, the 26 classes, that's weak. But that 27 class, though. What about that 28 class? So ignore the overall perception of a rookie class as a whole. There are good players out there and good drafts and bad drafts. There will always be players that you could take and add to your rookie squad. I'm sure the first round will be littered with players. And 26, even though they're saying it's only 1 deep, there's only 1 player. He's going to be on my team anyways. And man, next, trust your gut above all. Especially if you watch fucking football. If you watch ball, you know more than a lot of these podcasts out there. A lot of these podcasts, they just, they don't watch ball. You know what I'm saying? They got the numbers. They got the fantasy points, the analytics. This and that. They don't know ball. They don't know the game, especially when you scout and guys. Like, how many of y'all have listened to these podcasts or got on Twitter? We got actually dudes on Twitter scouting these players out, breaking it down. Like, oh, yeah, his cut off his right leg and his cut. Yeah, man, division. Like, motherfuckers, y'all don't even know. Y'all didn't even play football. Probably didn't even play past high school, but here you are on Twitter breaking them all down. Look, me and Craftman, we give our honest assessments. But most of our assessments on these players are just what we've seen them play at college football. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were right about Anthony Richardson. I ain't bragging about him. We were right about Trey Lance. I ain't bragging about it either. I was also wrong about Penix, wrong about some other players. But here's one reason why you trust your gut above all. That one draft where they had all them quarterbacks, Penix, Drake May, Caleb Williams, who all was in that class. I drafted a bunch of quarterbacks. I ended up keeping J.J. McCarthy, even though I saw him play in college. I know he wasn't that good, but he was in this good landing spot. You got Justin Jefferson. Then you got Drake May. Ain't nobody high on Drake May. I mean, there were some people high on Drake May, but down here in the South, if you were loving Drake May, you were getting clowned. Drake May's a loser. Drake May's this. But if you just trust your gut, I'd have Drake May on my team right now, and I wouldn't have J.J. McCarthy, sorry ass, which really takes me to the next one. You got to find that sweet spot between drafting for talent and drafting for the landing spot, because it's fucking important. I know I listen to a lot of podcasts, and you got to take in the information. The best podcasts out there for rookie evaluations are like the Dynasty Nerds and the FFD, Dynasty Fantasy Football. I think it's called FFD with them guys, but those guys, those are the podcasts that throw out the rookie content and stuff like that. But they will also tell you, hey, always draft for talent, no matter what. Always draft for talent, and to me, you got to find that sweet spot, because you want to draft these players with good situations, but you can't draft someone with a good situation over someone who's way talented. But if they're in the same tier, you tear them up yourself. If they're in the same tier and one has a better landing spot, you go with the person with the better landing spot, because it matters. It fucking matters, bro. Ask Garrett Wilson if his situation matters. That dude's stuck with the Jets. You just picked him 104, 105 in your rookie drafts 3 years ago. He ain't did nothing. He ain't done nothing for you. It ain't his fault. He's still good. He's had some stretches of good football, but he's up there with, 3 or 4 different quarterbacks. Then this next year, you got to hope that they bring in another quarterback, and that, you see what I'm saying? Like, landing spots matter. Like, I'll take a wide receiver for, who else? Someone obvious. Like, give me the wide receiver for the Rams over the wide receiver for the Jets. Give me the wide receiver for, who's out there? The Buccaneers. Give me a wide receiver for the Buccaneers over a wide receiver for the Jets. Man, the landing spot, it matters, bro. And you can ask Drake London. At times, he would say, hey, landing spot matters. This dude's had a roller coaster with different quarterbacks in. He finally had a good stretch this past year with Penix, but he won't even be around that much. So situation matters. You got to find that sweet spot. Talent is a lot. I do want to draft on talent a lot, but that landing spot, it's important. And one thing I'll say is, like, Jahmyr Gibbs, you remember that year when it was Bijan, JSN, and Gibbs? That landing spot for Gibbs for Detroit, number 11 overall, that got him into that 102 spot in a lot of ways, at least without your quarterbacks in the way. But the second non-quarterback spot was definitely Jahmyr Gibbs over JSN. Now they both panning out. JSN didn't have a good landing spot. You bring Sam Darnold, now all of a sudden his landing spot looks okay. So, got to find the sweet spot, which brings me to the next point. Draft capital. Man, it's everything, bro. It's everything. And I know we got our players like Scatabo. He was in the 4th round. Look, I go back to when we first started this podcast. Me and the Craft Man, because this was something I wanted to fight. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to say, hey, draft capital was overrated, and draft capital doesn't matter as much in the new game as it used to, and it does, and it's everything. Because the amount of players that pan out outside the draft capital that is needed for you to have success, it doesn't really work out all. I know Scatabo had a good run. Like, think about quarterbacks. Have to be drafted in the 1st round. Because think about the 2nd round quarterbacks that really have been good. I know Jalen Hurts, he doing his thing. But Derek Carr? I mean, what's the other ones? I don't really even know any more 2nd round quarterbacks. But Derek Carr was pretty much the best one. Jalen Hurts up there too. He was the best one. He actually won a Super Bowl. But other than that, if you're not drafted in the 1st round, dude, these quarterbacks are just disposable. Even if you're drafted in the 1st round and been in an organization for 1 year, you show up to the Jets, you've been there 1 year, they moving on no matter what. But draft capital is everything. It means everything. As far as running backs, wide receivers, gotta have that day 2 draft capital, rounds 2 and 3. Anything outside of rounds 2 and 3, done. I mean, I ain't gonna say they're done, because then when you get to your rookie drafts, you want to take your shots on landing spots, opportunities, and stuff like that. But there's no way I'm ranking somebody ahead of another player when draft capital is involved. When the NFL tells you something, you got to go with it. And I'm going to go with the draft capital and what the NFL tells me over anything else, over ball knowledge, over it all. Because it even matters when they get in contract negotiations later on in their careers. if you have that first round draft capital, that junk can stay with you, and you can keep getting jobs over and over again. So it matters, bro. The draft capital, it doesn't just matter; it's fucking everything, bro. Like I said, quarterbacks first round, wide receivers, running backs second and third round. If you get them in that first round, then you know they're elite. This right here would probably be my tip. If there was ever a tip to give in dynasty rookie drafts and whatnot, prioritize running backs. This is the cheapest you can get a running back, because if you get a running back that is any good with any type of youth involved, like take someone like Amarion Hampton. He was drafted in the first round this year, had a little bit of success in a couple games, but he was hurt most of the year. Dude, you cannot get Amarion Hampton unless you have 2 first plus, and that's just over a limited sample size. Like, you think you can get R.J. Harvey right now for like anything less than a good running back and a first? Like, it ain't happening. That's why I say prioritize running backs if you can, because the cheapest you can get them is in a rookie draft, even cheaper than in your startup drafts. You know what I'm saying? So prioritize running backs, take your shot on them. There's only 10 or 12 good ones out in the NFL. So once they're good, it's too late. Get them in the rookie draft, because if they start having success, it costs you 2 firsts. These running backs are either worth a second or either worth a first plus. Like, there's no in between. There's no middle grounds. Prioritize running backs. I feel like the fellas might like that one. The next one, and this is when I first started this podcast, I used to say, fuck them tight ends, man. I'm sick of them. Ain't none of them good. Dude, the tight ends are flowing. I think me and Craftman have to talk about this. We'll talk about it one day on the podcast when we get together. The tight ends are flowing. Laporta, Brock Bowers, McBride. I mean, they're out there. They're young. They're coming in. Gadsden done has put up some good games. I mean, the tight ends are there. I feel like in your rookie drafts, I don't know. I don't have like a little breakdown in front of me, but the late second rounds, early third, man, that's prime spots to go get you a damn tight end. And what if you hit on one of these young tight ends that you got it late in your rookie draft, and then you get to plug in Gadsden in for the next 7 years if he's any good, which he probably will be good. So I don't know. The tight ends are flowing. I used to say, man, I don't want nothing to do with these tight ends, but now I'm to the point where, hey, you're in a tight end premium league. You need to go ahead and take a shot in the back half of the second, the early of the third. Go ahead and get you one. See if you can hit, because if you hit a tight end and you're good for the next 8 years, man, you can go address all your other spots. And there's only like 3 or 4 tight ends that are even any good out there. Just think about that. There's like 3 or 4 good tight ends. And even then, that good tight end you got might have a terrible year this year. Like, Brock Bowers didn't have a good year this year. But it ain't like I'm staying away from him, but I'll take a shot in these tight ends. Tucker Kraft was another one. I mean, take a shot on them. Like, they're there. They're out there. Mid to late second, early third, go and grit them. And then this is my last one. It's not a tip. It's nothing. Man, dude, just don't even listen to the motherfucking pre-draft hooblah, bro. Right, and this is what I mean. Right before the draft, let's say the week before the draft, 2 weeks before the draft, you're going to get all kinds of news in a news cycle. This dude's smoking dope through a gas mask. This dude's got a small hand. This guy dropped a pass over at the combine. Like, just don't even worry about it, man. Whatever your gut was telling you at the NFL, like at the end of the NFL season, in the college football season, that's probably what's correct. You know what I'm saying? We'll see these little rookie draft boards go down. We'll start seeing some of these big podcasts put out their rankings. Me and the Crab Man, we're going to put out our rankings at the Fake Stuff podcast. Man, don't even listen to it. I do not even care about pre-draft hibbity hooblah. I don't care about what ESPN's got to say. They're just trying to, strum up some interest, get ready for the NFL draft. I don't care what nobody has to say about these players in a negative or a positive way. Because don't fall for just the positive dudes, too. Like, it's all a bunch of junk, too. Like, you know who the good players are. You've watched college football. For those of you who probably played dynasty football, you've probably watched some college football in your day. Like, you know what players are good and what players are not good. I think for the easiest one, I would say me and the Craft Man, maybe quarterbacks is just easier to judge, because you could just tell if a quarterback can play, if he has a lot of reps and not. So I'm not going to go thinking, if I know Anthony Richardson's bad, I'm not going to be like, oh, well, damn, he ran a 4.2. I don't really care. I could care less. Can he complete, 12 for 15, short to mid-range passes? Like, that's what I want to know. You know what I'm saying? So who cares about the pre-draft Hibbity Hooblah, because I do not. And real quick, I'll just recap it. My 7 notes for this episode, how I'm approaching my rookie draft season. I got the 101 in the league. I got, some second round, so I'm a little spread out. First round, second round picks. I'll be all over this class. That's weak, by the way. This class is weak. But that 27 class, though, ignore the overall perception of the rookie class as a whole. Trust your gut above all. Find the sweet spot between drafting for talent and drafting for the landing spot. Draft capital is fucking important. It's everything. Prioritize running backs in your rookie draft. It's as cheap as you could get them. Tight ends, they're flowing. Take a shot. And ignore the hibbity hooblah. Thanks for listening to my dumb ass for about 15, 16, 17 minutes of just rookies, of how I'm approaching it. I'll start diving into some rookies. We might talk about one by one, might group a few of them. Me and the Craft Man might dive in. It's rookie season, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people like rookie season. Ain't my favorite. It ain't the Craft Man's favorite, but nonetheless, we put it out there for your ass. Listen, everybody, don't be a motherfucking hoe. And share the motherfucking show, man. That's the best way for us to grow. Share the show. Thank y'all for listening on Apple. Leave us a review, 5-star review. It helps more than you know. Spotify, whatever you do, like it. YouTube, push the bell so you can get notifications when we're posting. I'm posting on the post, posting on some episodes, trying to grow that YouTube page. But like I say, share the show. Everybody, I just want to say thank y'all for listening to the Fake Stuff Podcast. Thank y'all for bearing with me for 20 minutes. But with that said, I am out.